Yeah, I've known him for like 5 years.
Okay,
So
cause it's okay. I always think it's funny too, cause like as a horn player, people like don't even recognize me. They're like, "Oh, what do you play?" And I'm like, "Baseball." But like, we're in the bag, so
yeah.
I only get one of those actually. Yeah, I'll be getting a few. Yep. You're saying what?
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Oh, sorry. Did I say something? I think she's like glorious. Or that is overall great harmony with yeah.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
Oh, for
adapting.
this one?
It's like
For
good for
like
the
I have a
even
question.
for like
Yes.
When you
possibly
say
Mondo
wife,
Call, yeah, Pelican.
Why?
does
Yeah.
the
I mean,
W
that
come
doesn't
before
usually
the
happen.
V? So should I join one
People,
wife
people call
or
it.
wife?
I don't know. I don't usually
That's a
get
funny
wife.
Let
question.
me try.
I
Can
told
I
my
sing it?
kids
Can I
yesterday.
get the
That's
notes
so
right and try that
excited.
by myself?
Yeah.
Just so that I can see what I
What do you
physically
play?
do.
No,
Chord
no,
surfer?
the tune I used before.
I
I don't think
play
we
a
play.
few of them.
Yeah.
So like I was doing Wizard of Oz this past couple weeks, but I went to New York to play open symphony.
Oh, cool.
Then I played with them in Korea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you heard Fun Five? Well,
Sounds like
I did
it's
it in
on the
Florida.
eye.
Yeah,
I
coming on the eye.
don't get
Wow,
along with
okay.
them very
Sounds good.
well.
Yes, she's so I do. She's
Yeah.
a W
I've
and
done
then
them.
a
I've
coming on
I've
the
played with
eye.
them a
It's
couple
strict.
times, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
not get asked to do
I've
Fun
always
Five
wondered
very
about
well.
this.
Yeah.
But
No,
okay,
thank you for
that makes
asking.
me more comfortable because the W, if I come from the W, I know I'm good.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, second one.
That's what I mean. When I went to team French, I don't know. So
Sorry.
and I auditioned because like she's like this woman like
I
this
hate
like
pedals.
super
Alright.
older woman who's like
Are we good?
singing like
To the
that
next
really
movement?
bad. And then she's like
Is there a
singing
spot in here
really
that
what
needs
is this
attention? Do we
man
feel?
song?
Or we did it?
Maybe just do it. I can just
Okay, then let's
I
stick
keep
with
it
it.
to myself, but I have a lot of yeah.
but the
A lot of
group
people
is
here.
good. The strings are so good
Yeah.
for a community.
No, a lot of them are pretty good.
And she's
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and it's like it was an opera piece
Oh, sorry.
I
I
because
can
Especially
do.
the top.
yeah, I graduated in
And we
Atlanta.
did the, the third movement.
Yeah.
Let's do the last like maybe 35 to
He
the end.
was with us at
Sure.
Symphony and now
Just
he's
to
in Chicago.
Oh, sorry, can
He's
we
a
Coco Rowell
he's a
into
harp
the
tutor.
32?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
And yeah, definitely I
Let's
have
do
to
it
like
32. So
unlearn
this is
a
third
lot of
movement
like
32
music.
C.
Well, that's the thing. I've never all of my 20s unlearning all the shit from school.
Alright, cool.
This
Sucks
this
that
should
we
be
will have to do that.
This
Yeah.
should be Where did you
Yeah.
go to school?
Yeah,
Okay,
Rochester State.
5,
Oh, okay.
6.
Yeah. I don't think yeah, he's he's like like I'm so grateful for it because he's also so in charge of like creative okay, other than that, yeah, he was definitely like trumpet part. Yeah, so much stress. Yeah.
Are you singing?
I would maybe like if you could like take
Oh, okay.
another, fit in another like up bow and then
This is by
just
Aaron
because it's gonna be a lot of resonance.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
okay.
gonna last
Oh, so you
forever.
want more
Yeah.
from me?
Just like
Okay.
more
great.
more time before you fade away.
Okay.
So like it'll probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1.
Looking good.
And this will last for a while.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll watch you if you do end up decaying all the way.
I'm sure how's the balance?
Oh, sorry, I haven't worked on that yet. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh.
But I think it sounds good. I'm
Okay,
gonna get
cool.
to it.
Yeah, if you face out, it's good, I think.
Okay.
Great. Alright, now do you want me to post contemporary piece? It's, you know.
Oh, no, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Alright.
It's okay.
Well, I do.
But keep it in your back pocket and let's talk for next season because
Yeah.
I love, kids especially love when there's really big, cool instruments.
I
You
know,
know,
yeah. it's
I had
super
percussion on one of these and the kids absolutely went nuts.
hard. Yeah.
So I love it, yeah.
Cool.
Are there kids coming?
I don't know today, but we've sold a lot of tickets, which is great. So the one kid I'm thinking of is not coming in particular, but we'll see.
I have been lightly terrorizing everybody and telling them they have to come.
Oh, good.
Oh, is there a live stream?
Yes.
How do I find it? My roommate asked.
The same ticket link.
And my mom's out.
We'll let you get a ticket for the live stream and then it'll
Okay.
send it to you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Some of the people who I've invited, they're still coming via live stream, but they can't come in person because one of them has a fever and one of them has.
Oh.
Sorry.
So I guess
My roommate was like, I want to come, but I don't want to drive.
Right.
Okay. Because we live in Sunset, so
Do you live on the end?
I
Hey.
I'm gonna put this in the lobby.
love the inn.
I have
The inn is my home.
The N I call Curl Mistress every other day.
I know.
Yeah, whenever there's a Giants game.
You want to fix the lights?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, people can come in. That's all. Awesome. Thank you. Maybe whatever will help you this round, but you guys good, yeah. I'm gonna leave this with you. Hello, welcome. Thank you all so much for coming. Welcome to Opus 11. It's great to see so many new faces. So just a little bit about us. Bay Area Arts Alliance is a small nonprofit production company. We do the Opus Project series, which is our flagship series, and we do bigger projects from time to time. Like in 2023, we did a world premiere of Vance Maverick's opera at the Hawkswell, which was a great success. We did it here actually in the big hall. It was great. So we do bigger projects like that every few years, whenever we can afford it. Yeah, but thank you for being with us in our early years. It means a lot to us. And so what is an opus? An opus is a designation for a piece of music that it's like a way to catalog it, right? So opus numbers, usually just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then later you get some like music historians who will use more complicated systems. They'll add in like, especially for Haydn, they're very complicated. There's like a letter and then 4 numbers, and it's very, very difficult to figure that out. But it's basically just any system that they use to catalog, and usually it's done by composition. Like the first thing Mozart wrote when he was like an embryo, is this like opus 1. But not every composer is like that. And Strauss, actually what we're going to play now, Strauss is an example of a composer you cannot trust necessarily that an early opus number was an early composition, because some of his opus numbers are done by their publication date. This one is a young Strauss, but just for your knowledge, if you're ever on Jeopardy, you can't trust opus numbers for Strauss, because sometimes they're publication, sometimes they're composition date. What we do is we feature a certain opus number at each concert. This is opus 11. This is our 11th concert. This is our 3rd season. And then we also program any work by a living composer can be on any of our concerts. So it's a big part of our mission, especially Bay Area composers. We try to have one living Bay Area composer on every concert. And so Vance is here. Vance did the arrangement of this piece, so he didn't have any fresh music for us this time, so I had him do this. And it's great. It's great. And I'm excited for horn players all over the world to be able to play this on recitals now. That's pretty much what the Opus project is. And do we have any questions to start? No? Okay, and the other thing is, so obviously this is more informal than, like San Francisco Symphony movies. That's kind of the point, right? So part of what we want to do here is to lessen the distance between us, the performer, and you as the consumer of the music. So at the end of each piece, I will invite you to ask questions of the performers, or the composers in this case. And please, anything. I'm shocked every time by how insightful some of the questions are, especially from non-musicians. It's not stupid, I promise. No one's going to laugh at you. Ask away. That's part of our deal here. And then people will be available at intermission if you don't want to ask in front of other people. If you want to ask someone privately, then go right ahead. We also encourage clapping between movements if you're so inclined. This is a very American 20th century tradition. In Europe, they clap between movements because they just clap when they feel like clapping. So I say clap when you feel like clapping. The only caveat is this concerto is through composed, so there is no space between movements. So if you don't know when to clap, that's cool too. I just clap at the end. It's totally fine. This one is kind of hard, but like in the songs later today, if you want to clap between the songs, if you feel compelled to, please do what you feel. Okay? And so this is Strauss. You want to say anything about this to start?
No, this was a fun arrangement project. I really came to appreciate the piece while I was working on it. And I've been excited hearing the quartet making it sound real. I'm happy to take questions about it after.
Okay, great. So this is normally for full orchestra and horn. It's a regular concerto. You guys want to? Does anyone have any questions? Comments? Discourse?
If not, I want to say that quartet arrangement, I tried to preserve as much as I could of the orchestra texture, and that meant putting in a lot of stuff that's pretty difficult to play, particularly for the violins. You might have noticed some high arpeggios that are very fiddly that Julia and I are going to talk about later, but for now they're in, and you carried them off very well.
Yeah, and then you were telling me at rehearsal the other day that Strauss does not write idiomatically for strings in general anyway. So in addition to covering all the winds and all the rest of the brass and percussion, etc., he already doesn't write easy parts for strings. So these guys have done an amazing job. So thank you for that, and thank you for being the guinea pigs for our first performance of this. I have a question for you, Vance.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to take something with this much like scope and take it down to like a chamber music arrangement? And because it still, to me, feels full. You know, like I never felt like, oh, I don't have the support under me.
I think I was lucky that Strauss was still pretty young when he wrote this, and it's not the really complex orchestra writing that he got into just a few years later with Don Juan and stuff.
Yeah.
There is actually somebody who has made an arrangement of Don Juan for violin and piano and plays it, but that's pretty insane.
Wow.
But that's the traditional way of writing for orchestra that Strauss grew up with. Basically treated it as a giant string quartet plus extra color.
I see.
So for about half of the piece, I was able to just copy the string parts as they were, and often in those parts, the winds and brass would be quiet or doubling stuff they were doing. So it's a pretty conservative sound. And then there were other parts where he started doing fun stuff with the winds, and generally in those parts, he wasn't assigning stuff to the strings. So there was, somebody sitting idle in the quartet who could pick up the winds. So this was, I think, a pretty lucky assignment, and I would be, scared of trying it with, later music that gets more.
Oh, you don't want to do Electra later?
Let's talk about that later.
It's also, I've never played this with an orchestra. I imagine it's much, much easier with a conductor. There were certain moments, we rehearsed them a lot, but and you guys did great, but like, it's a lot more work this way, I think, for you guys. It's the same for me. So bravo to you guys, bravo. Vance has done other arrangements for us for the Opus series, so we try to do, especially if we're going to do a more mainstream piece like a composer like Strauss or Schubert or something, if we can make a new arrangement of it, especially if it's for orchestra, we'll do that. So we did Sibelius, a song for soprano orchestra, Opus 3, and that was we did it for piano and
a couple strings. It was a
Yeah.
slightly odd, like quartet.
Yeah, but it came out great, and that's another piece that never ever gets done, and now people can do it on the recitals. It would be awesome. so anytime we have, you know, an opera aria or a concerto or something that's supposed to be with an ensemble, we will try to do something like this rather than just have it with piano. This piece actually was first written for horn and piano. Strauss first wrote it for horn and piano and then orchestrated it later. But we like to, you know, try to be more grandiose, I guess. So. And does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
Honestly, kind of for you, what parts did you like from horns put into the viola, or like was that just like part of like was there viola already that Strauss wrote, or how much of it was that?
In the slow movement, this sticks out to me. There are two spots actually I can think of. Most of it I was just copying what was already in the viola part, but in the slow movement, there's a kind of obbligato. First the first violin gets, and later the viola.
Yeah.
And in the orchestra version, the second time around is the cellos, which stand out in the orchestra, kind of the way the viola stands out in the quartet. And so and the range fit, so it was a natural choice. And there's another part early on where the cello gets active and kind of climbs up into the treble, and the viola takes over as the bass line. And they were carrying that off very well. I really enjoyed it.
Anything else? Don't be shy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's also really great to be right up in front.
Yeah, we like this
You
space.
not only
Yeah.
hear the music, you get to feel the music.
Yeah.
Which is really fantastic.
Yeah, this is our first season here at the Community Music Center. Before we were over at the Center for New Music, which is also a great venue. We love them over there. It's just not in such a great neighborhood, so it's a little bit tougher for some of our patrons, and even some of our musicians. But we've been very happy over here. And this building is new. They renovated this building during COVID. So this space is new. They have a big concert hall too, which is also great, but it's more expensive. so yeah, we're very happy here. We're glad to be here.
It's great. Also, it's really great to see a French horn up close. I am not.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wow, that's most beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's newish. This horn is newish to me. So, and this is a triple horn. So it has an extra set of tubes that most French horns don't have. So they don't normally look this wide. But yeah, that's more or less the idea. Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh yeah, I have a really quick high level question for Vance. I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your process and mindset when approaching an arrangement like this. And I guess I'm also really curious about how I mean I guess you laid that a little bit for this piece, but for other pieces where you might have to make more kind of sacrifices and big decisions for different parts, like how you approach musical integrity with respect to the original composer's intention.
Yeah, I think I'm still learning. I'm a composer. I haven't done all that many arrangements. I've been kind of learning on the job with Barry Arts Alliance. And in this case, I listened to recordings of the orchestra version and looked at the original score and did a kind of draft, and then asked myself, is this going to have the kind of impact? And if not, what needs to be changed, moved around in register? Is there an element that's material to what's going on that I haven't done? Early on, for example, there's some repeated rhythmic stuff where a background rhythm is keeping the velocity of the piece going. And it wasn't written into the string parts so much as the winds. So after the rough version, I had to take some of them off of melodic duty and put them on the chunk rhythmic stuff. So it worked out. So yeah, no deep thoughts. Ask me again after a few.
But I think Vance is very what's the word? Fastidious about listening and making sure you can't match a full orchestra with a string quartet. You just can't. I mean, but the impact can be there. And for example, the Sibelius I was talking about that we did before. I mean, Sibelius is so lush, and to break it down to just a piano and a couple of strings and a singer. I mean, in that particular case, that singer was so good that you didn't even notice that on stage. I mean, she's incredible, Marielle Levoff. I think it's the gesture, it's the idea that's more important than getting like every note in there, And I think Vance is really good at that, which is impressive because, like he said, he's learning on the job, and he has a full-time job like that's not music. So like he just does all this, like it's incredible to me. So yeah, it's impressive, but I bet it's very hard. Yeah. Anything else?
Thanks again, Yolanda.
No, thank you. So let's just take a short break so we can reset for the second half. So feel free to talk among yourselves, and the musicians will be around if you want to ask them questions.
Very early stage research, but yeah, that's the eventual one. So you like drop your camera into the fire. It's and then you tell it.
came to me, specifically, this is Allegra's, what would I say, passion project, right? And that's another thing we love at Bay Area Arts Alliance and the Opus Project. So this qualifies to be on our series because, Boyle did not catalog her pieces at all. They have no Opus numbers. So we'll also take those. Like, we're pretty flexible, I remember once we did Opus 88, back when we were doing it with Mark, and there was another pianist on the group that said, I should be able to play anything I want because the piano has 88 keys. And Mark let him, and it was fine, So we're flexible. So any of you that are in here that are musicians, if you have passion projects that you don't know where you're going to get to sing them, play them, do whatever, bring them to me, please. Because this is the kind of work we want to be doing. This is the kind of work you don't get to see at San Francisco Symphony. You don't get to see at San Francisco Opera. They do great work too, but you don't get to see people's cultivated individual passions. And that's missing in our musical landscape, I think, in America especially. Allegra knows our board member Phoebe Chi, who's a wonderful singer herself. She's not here tonight. She's in Sacramento singing for a Requiem. Yay. So Allegra brought me this pre-formed group and this piece I know nothing about. I've never really heard. I'm excited to hear it. I thought it was longer, which is why there's only 2 pieces on this concert. So it's only about 10 minutes. So you'll be out of here early, but honestly, is that so bad? I mean, short concerts, I think sometimes that's okay, right? So the one thing I do want to say in case I forget, after the concert when you're leaving, there is another show in the big concert hall, and the composer for that opera is very nervous that his recording's going to be ruined by my concert or my audience. So when you leave, just please try to be quiet in the courtyard so he doesn't chew me out later. I'm sure it'll be fine. But Allegra, please tell us a little.
So this piece was created in 1958 by Irish composer Ina Boyle. She was a student of Vaughan Williams and lived in the early 20th century. She gained some level of recognition for some of her early works in the early 20th century, late 19th century, but by the 1940s she had fallen into obscurity. More than half of her pieces have never been performed, are still in manuscript, and have never been published. This piece, written in 1958, sets 3 poems from Ireland's ancient canon, originally in Goidel, ancient Irish Gaelic, that has been translated into English. It is a piece about grief and collective grief. And this past year, I've had 2 family deaths. So I wanted to bring this out as a bit of a place that we could all feel that level of collective grief, but also the end where there's still a beauty to it. This will be the first time this piece is sung in San Francisco. This is the San Francisco premiere. My amazing colleague, St. Mallet, who took this on last minute and has been able to bring so much to it, and to Coden Dunford, who has been with us from the beginning and brings so much artistry and love to this work. Thank you.
much. That was wonderful. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
As a singer, how do you start to learn a piece like this, especially something that's not so well known?
I sight read it. I sight read it. I mean, how I first discovered the piece was actually a very odd, roundabout way. I had said I wanted to do chamber music, and I wanted to do the Holst violin and Shepherd on the Rock, and I made the joke, I'd like to do something with viola, but there's nothing for viola because they are all like mezzos. And one of my friends went, I got a piece for you. And she passed me this piece, and I didn't like it. So, while I was listening to it, I saw a recording, and the thumbnail for the recording, the one recording of the boil, and I listened to it and I went, I have to sing this. This is it. This is what I want. It's haunting, it's heartbreaking, it's beautiful. And then after that I got a hold of the score. I contacted the Ina Boyle Society, and they sent me the one typeset version because this piece hasn't been published. And I started learning it, sight reading it.
I think partly what Julian's asking is like, do you start with the text, or do you sit at the piano and play the harp part to hear the harmony, or do you just sing the notes, like plonk out the notes, like what's the actual like process?
I think it depends on the singer. For me, I usually, if it's a piece that is not in English, I'll do the text and translations first.
Okay.
But since this is in English, I knew what it meant, and I knew what it was saying, so I was able to move straight into basically plunking it down on the piano. I would listen to the recording for the other parts, and I would actually also play out sometimes the harp part and sometimes the viola part, usually the viola part because that one is the part that I'm mostly duetting with. So I would play that out and translate out of alto clef onto the piano.
I could say some stuff. This is so lovely. I've been anticipating this since you told me about the inception of this project. And I grew up with listening to so much Irish folk music, like Flanad, and so I know that we've shared a lot of that. I kind of, it's like a comment question, I guess. Like it's like about how wonderful hearing Irish influenced classical music is with harp, and I want to like talk about like. I know this is so quick. I know that I know about how like like this came together, and I'm super glad to hear it. I just wanted to ask about like the Irish harp influence and like what that does to the sound and everything. I don't know, just it's just a unique question. It's kind of a general like idea. I really don't know. What do you think? Sorry. I was like, how did you interpret like Irish harp folk traditions?
No, not at all. Well, it's typeset really beautifully, so it sort of looks like anything else we would play. And harp music, I mean, it looks like piano music.
Yeah.
Just like, same stuff. Both right hand on the top, left
You
hand on the
convinced me, so that's.
No, I mean, it lends itself to Irish music, obviously. There's a huge, like, Welsh culture of harp and Irish culture. So she probably had that in mind. It's written really beautifully. But she did the heavy lifting and like writing a beautiful idiomatic part. That answered the question.
How much folk harp music have you had to play over the years? Like, is that something that people ask you to do very often, or?
I don't have like a little harp anymore, so no.
Oh, you need a different instrument.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Like the modern pedal harp. Okay, we'll just do a little rundown.
Yeah.
So it's like a piano in that all the white keys are in our hands, or all the white keys are the strings. So C, D, F, G, A, B, C. So all the red strings are C, and then all the black strings are F. And so the in between notes you have the video.
No.
That's fine. That's fine. The in between notes, like the black keys of a piano, we make those with our feet, which is complicated. So we have 7 pedals. Oh my gosh, I've done this demonstration so many times. I'm so nervous. Okay. So like it goes D, C, B, E, F, G, A, and so like for example, this is play the A pedal. So the A pedal, well, I guess you guys can't see that. Okay, I'll stand up. So this is the C pedal. The top is flat. So that's the C string, C pedal. And then there are forks at the top of the harp. So right now you tune it in flat, and then you push the pedal down, and all of the strings of the same pitch class go up. So one string can be 3 different notes. So like chromaticism has to be like planned out. Like black keys on the piano, you have to plan it out, write it in. So we don't like a lot of chromaticism, which this piece has not a lot. So it's great. And folk harp is like you manually change the notes with your hands. So a lot of it is like very like in the key. You're playing a jig.
Yeah.
You don't got a lot to do with your like changing of the strings. If that makes sense.
Interesting.
And then that's how we get like double notes. Like C sharp and D flat are different for us, different strings. So we get like, and this is how we get glissandos. It's like the black keys. Did that answer it? I don't know. Yes.
I have a question. So, is there a way you can like preset a key on the pedals?
Yeah, so if I were to like, I mean, yeah, if you're in like a key that is very common is
so
C
it stays
major,
down.
you know, and if someone was like A major, I have to be like, okay, I have to put 3 sharps in that, so I would change C sharp, F sharp, G sharp.
And now, what if there was an accidental natural? What would you do? You have to lift the pedal?
You would write it in and you'd be like, this is where I changed my foot.
Okay, so you have to change the foot every time.
Yeah, every single time,
Wow.
every chromatic. So if you can't really do chromatic scales, it's like, wait, you know, if you plan it out, you can do it slow, but
And you don't use the pinky, right?
we don't, oh my god, all the good questions I can answer. We don't use our pinkies. We don't use our pinkies.
Okay.
They're too short. Like our 4th finger, the ring finger is the longest. So these are kind of weak. We don't use them. Any more hard questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, oh my god.
Can you play around with where you pluck along the string length?
That's a great question. This is really a hard one.
Akshay is a wonderful guitar player that plays often for us on Elvis Project.
Yeah, we have a lot of like special effects, and so if you play lower, it sounds like you're holding your nose, or like a guitar. And if you just play with your flesh, it's a guitar. But if you do your nail and the lower, it's different. And then if you just do your nail up here, it's like that.
Sounds like a video game.
Yeah, and we can do like xylophonic effects. Or we do harmonics, which is splitting the string in half. Wow. We can do nothing.
Do you have to do that very often?
Yeah, the piece I was gonna play has a bunch of cool techniques in it.
Oh, we'll talk for next season.
Next season.
We'll talk.
But yeah, we can do like guitarist.
I'd like to ask a sort of songwriting question about this. My feeling listening to this was that the vocal line followed the text very closely, like as if in composing it she had thought, what's the right note for this next word? And the instruments were driven by melodies and patterns, and you were doing what was like a recitative with a big range. Is that how it feels singing it, or?
Was how I felt. I analyzed this piece, and what I mainly found was the singing part kind of floats over. The main role of the singing seems to deliver the text, deliver the characters, acts as the character, acts as Eve, acts as the old woman of Bear, old Irish literary figure, folk figure, then as a caller of the winter. And it kind of just either floats on top of the instruments, or it is duetting, mainly with the viola line, and particularly you can see that in the 3rd where the viola has a very strong melody and the singing also has, and they intersect at very specific points, which we have to practice. And when analyzing it, that is actually what made me more think of this less as a vocal work and more as a chamber work, because it had so much action from all three parts. Vocal works are commonly thought of as the voice does everything and the piano is just playing accompaniment, or the other parts are just playing accompaniment. But in this piece, everyone is very active. And
Very impressive.
It suits you very well. It's good. I would love to hear more of her stuff. So if you learn more, let's talk. Does anyone else have any questions?
This isn't a question for anyone in particular, but I've never heard of a competition for voice, viola, and harp before. Are there many? Because I really like the way they sound.
I don't know of any. There's for voice, viola, and piano, some very famous works. I mean, I do like the deep dive research for the Opus project, and I've never come across it. It's possible.
There's a little literature for viola, harp, and flute. Starting with the Debussy trio, but lots of other people have used that. So I wonder, she might have gotten the idea from one of those.
Oh, you know, that's interesting because Vance is actually a gifted text setter. He writes a lot of vocal music. I'm a singer also, and I've sung a lot of his music, and he's very, very particular about the text he chooses. So actually, maybe we should have a project where you take that Debussy and put text to it or something like that. You know, that would be perfect.
That'd be fun.
He's thinking like, oh God.
Who has an enormous
No, but the flute, anyway.
It's not really the norm, right? To have
It's
a chamber piece with vocal at all? I mean,
there's some.
There's more than you think,
Yes.
actually.
okay.
And that's another reason you should come to more of our concerts because I try to program as much as I find. The vocal chamber music is very neglected in the repertoire. We have some on almost every concert, wouldn't you say? We have vocal chamber music. Almost every concert, yeah. And you know, she mentioned Shepherd on the Rock. That's like a very famous one, which actually would be perfect with this piece, like paired with this piece. But there's lots of not known stuff too, because you know the problem is in conservatories, and here I go on my soapbox. You know, when you give your recital or your jury, you have to give an Italian, German, French, English, and you have to hit the time periods. There's not a whole lot of space for creativity and programming. It was one of the most frustrating things for me in school, as someone who was interested in not only modern music but just like unknown music, you know. So that's another reason we do what we do here, is so that we can hear those pieces that, like, I was in grad school with this undergrad who wanted to do what is the Berlioz, the L'Humidité. She wanted to do it with string quartet, and they said no. Which it would have been so perfect for her. It's just so frustrating, that kind of thing, you know. So we do that here. This is the place for that. So come back, and you'll hear more of it. Our next show will be in October. This is the last show for the season. I don't have the dates yet, but we always do the first one in October. So just keep your eyes on our website, on our socials, at Bay Area Arts Alliance on IG, and talk to anyone. Email us anytime. Any other questions?
Wonderful.
Thank you guys so much. Everyone be safe, stay home, and just remember to try to keep it down in the courtyard for their show.